Some are quiet, some are noisy, some are, can be aggressive, or others are real lovey-lovey. It's the way they're brought up. Just like people, just like children. I'm Ray Parks. My wife's name is Valerie Parks. We've been married 43 years. We started Parrot Island in 1997 so we could take in parrots and give them a home and try to rehouse parrots in homes that really need one to look after. Our facility is more for rescued birds. It is a tourist attraction to get the educational part out, but it's not what you might say a viable tourist attraction. Every day I was getting phone calls and emails to take birds, so I said, we'll just start it. I got to do something. With my life, I can't just sit around and grow old. I'll work and grow old. Usually we have, on the whole, about 80 or so. Some of the older parrots jet out in there. She's about 50 or more. We've actually had someone tell me this about 6 years ago. They had a bird handed down in their family for 3 generations. You've got to make plans for that bird. And this is why I say to people, why go and buy a baby parrot when there's so many out there that need a home that are older, so you might not have that length of time where that bird is still going to be young when you pass away. There is so many to take in that I don't have the room for. What's going to happen to them? We have quite a few parrots placed in homes with mature people, and it works out pretty good. We've got 40, 60 parrots in homes out there now, and they say they love their birds. It's great to get up to and have something to talk to in the morning. We supply the bird in the cage and it's all free, except it remains ours. They sign an agreement, the bird is still ours. They can't sell it, they can't give it away. We have to be able to check up on it if we want. And it comes back to us if you can't take care of it. You can get a child from an adoption agency easier than you can get a parrot from us. If you're a young couple, you won't get a parrot from us. If you have young children, you won't get a parrot from us. Because these are the reasons they come to us in the first place. They don't make a good family companion. And usually if it loves the wife, it doesn't like the husband. If it loves the husband, it doesn't like the wife or the kids. And that's the biggest reason that people have to give up their birds. Someone could buy an 8-year-old child a parrot, their daughter a parrot. The bird ends up loving the daughter and the daughter ends up loving the bird. But by the time she gets about 17, 18 years old, she must probably have to get rid of the parrot, because when a boyfriend comes around, the parrot's not going to accept that. As far as he's concerned, that girl is his mate and he's not going to have nobody interfering with it. And he could very well chase the boy around the house and bite him. You can even tell him that, not to get a parrot. They will go out and buy a baby parrot, come back to me in 6 years and say, can you take my bird? It loves my husband and hates me. Well, I used to play every 2 hours for the birds at night, because I used to play in bands, played all over the world, in different clubs, from the Top 10 Club in Hamburg, to Miami Bandstand, to the Peppermint Lounge in New York, to the Metropole Caf, to Haifa. The type of music I play is usually, you go back to CCR, Creedence Clearwater, Buddy Holly, all the old standards, I've always played music, and the birds like it. I've got a captive audience. At night, I'm the last one to leave the building normally. As soon as I unplug that fan at the bottom, they start. Good night, see you in the morning, good night. And the way they can put it into context, you just think, where does it come from? What's going on up there? We get quite a few phone calls of people that phone us up about their birds plucking and what can they do. In the wild, parrots do not migrate. They live and die in the same area they're born in. It's bound to happen that 2 birds could come together that are related and have babies. They're a normal parrot, except when you breed birds that are already pluckers and you're producing more pluckers from those pluckers, you're inclined to get birds that tear at their flesh. In the wild, they won't get a mate and they most probably die. So it's nature's way of keeping the genetic gene pool clean. This bird would spend all day in your arms if it could. So many people say, I'm going to keep this bird forever. I'm going to keep it forever. They never do. See them in the wild is the only way to see these birds, because once you've seen them in the wild, it's like nothing else. We do the best we can do, and that's all the birds know. They've never known to be in the wild. They've never known to be free. And this is why we like bird people to come and visit the birds. But is there any life really to live your life in a cage? I think really we should stick to cats and dogs and that's it. Any exotic pet should be left in its own country. It's not just the point of going and getting a pet. It's the point of what comes after you've gotten the pet. Not just 4, 5, 6 weeks, the newness of it. I'm talking about every day thereafter. We become a very disposable society. I think the majority of the people think they're taking care of their pets pretty good. It's always about being called a pet. You know, I think you can have a pet plant, but if it's a living creature, then it should be a companion. And companion means you're going to spend time with it. The main goal of the sanctuary is to try and get the word out that leave these birds where they're supposed to be. There's over 2 million unwanted parrots in North America. So why are we breeding them when there's all that many out there that already need a home? And they can send donations to the Friends of the Parrot Sanctuary Society, and it all comes to help the birds. So you want to know what's going to happen to this place when I can't do it anymore. And that's been a worry for my wife and myself. What is going to happen to Parrot Island and the birds? That's up to the Lord. He's either got to let me live for a long, long time, or he's got to send someone else along just as crazy as I am and my wife that will do this, because it's every day. If you want vacations, this isn't the thing for you. It's a big commitment. So it's scary because we don't really know what's going to happen after this. What you laughing at? Eh? What you laughing at?